Hi everyone, I'm Molly Ojua with Sacred Fire Creative, and we are a full-service digital marketing agency. Some of you know that I primarily work with women and minority entrepreneurs, and I also work with a lot of our spiritual entrepreneurs. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing Brian Heater. He's the founder of Transforming Ourselves. So hi, Brian. How are you today?
Hey, Molly. I'm doing good. Thanks. How are you doing?
So I'm going to have you just introduce yourself for a few minutes, and then we'll just continue from there.
Okay, great. Yeah, Brian Heater, and I have a company called Transforming Ourselves. The website's transformingourselves.com. I've been doing that for, I think, going on 9 or 10 years, and but I'm kind of on my 2.0 business where I've redone my website. Molly helped me. Thank you. And so I'm emphasizing some new things. I've written some books in the past. I have 3 different books. Probably my most popular book is called 30 Steps to Conscious Living. So I do a lot of work in that field, conscious living, mindfulness. And so I'm re-emphasizing doing some spiritual coaching and mindfulness counseling. And I do a lot of nature-based stuff too, wilderness workshops and nature-based online courses. So I offer counseling, coaching. I offer free articles, videos, and also I'm doing, like I said, lots of workshops and courses, both online and in person. So I'm excited kind of to get my business going. Again, I've been in it for several years, but kind of refreshing it and getting it going for the fall. So I'm real excited about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We have some people joining us. So if you are here, we can see that you're watching, but if you want to just type in the comments, say hi, tell us where you're chiming in from, that would be great. And we can also bring your questions up on the screen. So if you have questions for Brian, feel free to type them into the comments and we'll bring them up for you. One of the things that you mentioned, Brian, so you mentioned a few things that I want to kind of dig into a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background? What got you into the work that you're doing?
Sure, yeah. Well, I went to University of Oregon down in Eugene and kind of had, when I was 19, I had an awakening. I was always kind of thinking a little deeper about stuff and exploring, but going down there kind of opened my mind. Some great classes and some people I met and stuff. So kind of had a transformation myself, awakening, and that was 30 plus years ago. And so I've kind of been on the path ever since. I've learned a lot about various alternative spirituality, and I've studied a lot of the world's religions, and I've done a lot of mindfulness meditation work, and also work in shamanic healing and things like that. So over the course of 30 years, I started out as a youth counselor. I worked with at-risk youth for many, many years. And I finally got out of that and wanted to kind of do some of my own stuff. So I've done various businesses, green. I've kind of been a green entrepreneur, so to speak, always trying to help change the world, you know, in small steps, one step at a time. And but I started my business, this business, Transform Ourselves, about 9, 10 years ago. I wanted to get back into counseling. I really like to write too, so I write online and I write my books. It's a great way to reach people and help them. And I do a lot of free articles too. So that's kind of been my transformation. I've had a few awakenings since then. Of course, we're always learning, you know, as people. And so, you know, the past 30 years, I've learned a lot and gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So I'm here basically to help people and try to get them on the path of awareness and consciousness. So I really like conscious living and mindfulness. Probably those are my, I guess, buzzwords, so to speak. And so I want to help people in that area mostly.
Awesome. So, and when you say conscious living and mindfulness, coaching and counseling, can you tell us a little bit more about what that kind of issues that people have when they come to you, or how do they know, how do they self-identify and know that they're supposed to work with you? And then what kind of work do they do with you? And then what kind of results do they get?
Yeah. You know, like I said, I do both one-on-one coaching, counseling, and then workshops too, which are fun. Doing some online courses, but also workshops in the wilderness, which is great. Nature is one of our best healers and teachers. So I use a lot of nature-based medicine, I'll say, tools and techniques to help people kind of be aware. So as you know, and many of us know in this field, is that the world needs some change of consciousness, and we can all do our part, you know, small steps, of course. And so what I try to do is when I work with people, whether it be one-on-one or workshops, we, especially one-on-one, of course, you can identify, you know, what people want to work on. So a lot of people are aware and they're searching for, I guess, maybe more of a practical spirituality, so to speak. They don't want to maybe follow a specific religion, although that's fine too. And so they want to glean from all these wonderful truths about loving kindness and compassion, about listening, deep listening. There's so many different things. And so what I'm really trying to do is identify what people want to learn. A lot of people want to go a little deeper in their lives and find some deeper meaning about their day-to-day lives. And so that's kind of what I try to help people with, is identify some tools and techniques that resonate with them as a person, to have them feel a little more aware, a little more conscious about what they're doing, and happy too, you know, a little more happy with their day-to-day life. And so we got to go deep a little bit, and we've got to change a lot of things in our world. There's a lot of wonderful things in our world, but there's a lot of challenges too, as we all know. And so I think both changing your inner self, if you can do that and find a sense of balance and mindfulness, then you can change the outer world too. And so we can take action steps also. So that's conscious living, kind of works with both the inner and the outer part of ourselves. So that's mainly what I do. And I seem to help people, and I'm passionate about it. It's my calling to help people and be there for others.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I just want to take a moment to say hi, Diana. Thanks for chiming in. Really appreciate your support there. And if you are watching, we can see that you're on and you're watching, but we can't tell who you are. So if you want to just say hi in the comments, that would be great. Let us know where you're coming from. And also, if you have questions for Brian, definitely type them in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, hi, and thank you so much. Feel free to share this. Definitely get the message out. I think that this is an important topic, and to realize that there are so many different practitioners out there who are doing this. Yeah. I think that, you know, one of the things that we did when we redesigned Brian's website, transformingourselves.com, and I can show the URL right here. One of the things we did is we also kind of focused on what services he's offering and what makes him unique. And I think that a lot of what he brings also is in that nature-based education, and so which you talked about. And so I definitely think that, you know, the world is ready for this now. It's one of those things where, you know, we may have been working in this for a long time, but now I see more and more people being really engaged with this and really understanding how to take their consciousness to another level, take their living, their lifestyle, their awareness, whatever you want to call it, to another level. And I think it is important to have a guide, to have a mentor, to have somebody like Brian. You know, you've written 3 books already, and you probably have more in you. And these are things that you can actually find on the website too. And one of the things also I wanted to find out from you. So, you know, you mentioned this like nature-based education. And so is that something that is incorporated with every single client that you have, or is it just kind of on a as needed basis, or how do you work that in?
Yeah, well, I use different tools and techniques from, you know, various spiritual traditions and, you know, new thought, new age philosophies too. So yeah, I try to adapt to what a person needs. I do tend to use nature-based spiritual and mindfulness tools because you know, they go back thousands of years too. And although we're kind of evolving now with them and incorporated them into our modern lives, and so the shamanic ways and the shamanic tools, I use the medicine wheel, which basically talks about you know, the 4 elements and the 4 parts of ourselves. So, you know, mind, spirit, emotions, and body. And so we need all 4 of those to be in balance and to be healthy, to you know, to be good, to be healthy, basically. So you need to work on all 4 parts themselves. So I guess I use that model as a basis for most of my work. I adapt it, of course, to different ways, you know, according to the client and the workshop. I love to take people out in nature, and because it's such a sacred place. Again, I'm really into what I call sacred silence, which basically meditation, reflection, prayer. And so, you know, it's a little easier to go out and teach people those tools. But again, you can do it in the city, you can do it in your backyard, you can do it in the park, and you can do it online too. So, you know, there's lots of different ways you can offer people tools and techniques to go out and do it themselves. So, but yeah, I do focus on nature. I think it's a great healer, and the Mother Earth teaches us a lot of things, and I've sure learned a lot. And so I try to get people to focus on using the earth, you know, to ground with the earth, and to use that as an important, you know, focus and tool towards their healing and self-discovery. So does that answer the question, I think?
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to bring this up. So Brenna Jean says hi. Can you see that? That's your daughter listening in. Hi.
Hey, Brenna.
Really sweet. So it's so nice to have some support on here.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I love that you've brought that up, that it's nature-based, and that, you know, nature is one of our oldest teachers.
Definitely.
So we've developed this new website. I know you're forming some new things. It's kind of like your business 2.0. So what's next for you?
Well, I'm developing some online courses because it's a great way to reach people. I'll always do live courses too and workshops because, again, I love to get people out in nature. But I can reach more people through online courses, and of course, you know, people can you know, do that, you know, anytime they want, you know, at their convenience. So that's nice. I'll continue to write, which I do a lot too. I offer a lot of free articles. Yeah, I'll eventually get to my 4th book. Been pretty busy. But yeah, I'm really excited because I'm just offering some new stuff, you know, for my business and emphasizing helping people. I do offer, you know, a free 30-minute now consultation with people to see, you know, if we're a good fit and if I can help them. And again, I want to offer, I think it's real important to be authentic and honest with people, with your clients and people in the world. And so I like to offer, though, a lot of free content too. So right now I'm offering my book, my ebook, 30 Steps to Conscious Living, free if you sign up on my list. And then I'll send people free mindfulness and different articles about conscious living. And so I think as practitioners, it's important. We need to make a living, of course. You know, we need to charge for our services, but we also need to help change the world. And so you have to have a balance there. And so I think people appreciate free content and you know, free advice. And then, you know, if they want to hire me to help or want to go to one of my workshops, hey, that's great too. But I always want to be there to help with our evolution of consciousness. I think that's very important. And for all practitioners and people, we should always just remember that, you know, to keep the balance. You know, the economy and money is part of our, you know, we have to pay the bills, obviously, but we also have to change the world. There's a lot of things we need to do. And so we got to put out a lot of loving kindness, probably, compassion, and help people on their path. And so that's always been really important to me. So it's just a matter of how to put it together in a business too, and charge a fee for certain things, and also offer free services and free things for people too. So I'm excited because I'm kind of finally figuring out the formula a little bit, and it will evolve. And you helped me a lot with the website, so I appreciate that. So yeah. I'm just super excited to be able to help people and move forward in my business.
Excellent. And first of all, just a little hi from Gina. Nature therapy is the best therapy. Hi, Gina.
Yeah. Thanks, Gina. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And so the thing is, Brian, you are like my ideal client because you really speak my language. I like to help people who are out to change the world. Like, one, they want to change the world, they want to affect lives, they want to raise the consciousness, they want to help people with their awareness, they are offering things of service. Like, so much of that is so important to me, whether you're a spiritual or you're a social entrepreneur. I think that we as individuals don't even know, how much we can have an impact and how we can make a difference even in one person's life. And I think that's so important to just say, and that you're living your calling and you're really bringing people along with you on this ride of recognizing their own gifts, their own abilities, and coming into their own conscious living and through their own mindfulness. And so I really just love that, and I appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I do appreciate what you're saying about this abundance mentality. So if you're watching, you have to realize, like, if you go to transformingourselves.com, you will see that, Brian, you have so much content there already. Tons of free content. He's got articles, PDFs. He's giving away more of his free ebook, and it's like so much for people to get started. So if anything, I would start there. Not to mention, he just, offered a free half-hour consultation, which I think is very generous. Giving our time and our energy and our awareness to somebody else to be able to help them is really powerful. So definitely, visit his website if you're watching this, even on the replay. And, oh, hi, Jeremy. That's my husband.
Hey, Jeremy.
So, and then, before we wrap up, Brian, do you have anything else that you want to add, things that you want people to know about or have them go do before we wrap up?
Well, let's see. I encourage people to go out and seek their truth. Again, sometimes we can get overwhelmed in the world. There's so much going on in the politics and the state of the world, the weather, it's kind of overwhelming sometimes, the violence that's going on. But there's a lot of good, too. There's a lot of great people, as you said, that are trying to do their part. So we all can do our part. I know that's, a lot of people say that, but it's so true. But we have to remember, too, that we can take small steps for transformation. So when I was younger, I wanted to change the world overnight. In 2 weeks, let's change the world as an activist. And then, as you get older, you get a little wiser, and it doesn't quite work that way. So but the little steps are so important. What we do every day, we vote with our dollars for example, what we buy and what we don't buy is one example. Again, I'm not putting pressure on people, but I'm giving an example of what we can do. There's so many little steps that we can take that, as you said, help other people and transform that. Just acts of kindness and compassion change people's lives. Not reacting in anger, with anger is a big step. So, and then also forgiving yourself, of course, too, because we do always make mistakes. And, we're humans on this path, on this earth school, as a lot of people call it. And so, we're growing every day. So be gentle with yourself, but also take those small steps every day. And that's what conscious living is about. That's why I love it, because it's both working on your inner self, but also doing outer action to help change the world. And so take those baby steps, take those small steps, I encourage people. There's so much information out there on the web, so many workshops, tons of free information. There's so many good things happening. So don't get discouraged with all the negative things of the world. It is hard at times, believe me, but we need to be positive, and we need to help change the world. It only takes a certain percentage to change the consciousness. And so that's my goal, is to help as many people as I can. And but as you say, you know, we can help one person at a time, and that makes a huge difference. So that's my, I guess, my philosophy in general.
I love it. Such great wisdom. And my husband says, good message, the little things add up. So
yeah, definitely, Jeremy. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Brian, for coming on, sharing your wisdom, and sharing a little bit about your business and what you have going on. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And for those of you who are watching, I know that I've said a lot about my husband in the past in different interviews, and I'm so grateful that he's back from fighting wildfires in Central Oregon. So that was a tough time, and I feel like, you know, we have talked about the weather, and I'm really grateful that Irma has eased up, and there's a lot of things to be grateful for. And so let's focus on that for now and just move into the period of gratitude. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Many blessings to you.
There's my website, sacredfirecreative.com. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.